What's up, guys? Anthony Perkins. Everybody calls me AP. Got that nickname back in high school from a government teacher. Just randomly called me AP and it stuck, so that's why it is. As most of y'all know, I fluctuate a lot of discs between my bag, but in the last 2 months, this has been the most consistent I've kept my bag since I started. I'll start with my go-to putters, my Lucky Ace P2s. I got about 5 or 6 of these that I switch out whenever they start missing. I'll put them in timeout, grab a different color. I got some whites, blues, and an orange one now. One's 174, one's 176. I use the 176 for inside the circle, 174 for mainly outside the circle because it's got a little bit more glide. My throwing putters, I got 5 of them. First one, I've been throwing this Jackrabbit for the last couple of months just for water purposes, and it's actually a pretty reliable straight backhand disc. I can throw this as hard as I can on a little Annie, and it's gonna hold it and then come out at the end. Or those nice little hyzer shots. I've thrown a couple in Freddie Mesa's face the last couple weeks, he knows that. And then Firefly. I used to putt with these for a while, and I used to throw a couple while I was putting, and they're one of the best throwing putters I've ever owned. Just straight as it can be for at least 250 feet. So whenever I need to get a little bit more distance than the Firefly, I pull out this Eternal Bullet. It flies fairly similar to the Firefly, just a little further. This thing, for those of you that have played with me in a long time, for a while, I used to throw a Fluid Judge a lot, and this is the closest thing to a Fluid Judge that I've found. And it's a bullet. You shoot it straight. And then the beefy one is a Prophet, a new Sublime Prophet. These things are like zones on a backhand, not so much on the forehand, but it's whenever there's a headwind or I need to go right to left, the Prophet is definitely reliable. And then my Novas. Can't say anything bad about this disc. I love the Nova so much. Point and shoot wherever you need to go, and the rim makes it stick. On hill shots, I'll throw this disc 9 times out of 10 just so it sticks right next to the basket if it doesn't go in. Now we'll go to the mid-ranges. Found this at the Livingston tournament that George Avery and Matt Hall ran. And this thing is gummy, it's reliable, it's stable. I love forehanding this disc. We call it the Jaguana. And then I used to bag a Justice for the longest time, but this Mutant took it out of the bag because it's a little further. Justice is reliable. This thing is just as reliable, but it's got more glide. So I can get that extra 40, 50 feet that I need. And it's very, very good for backhands. I used it a lot at Loso this weekend. I just put this Sublime Bobcat in the bag. Freddie Mesa has been throwing it so well. I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot, and now I know why. This thing is a longer zone, and it's amazing. Please go try one out if you like zones. You will love this disc. I also have a few little ones that I've been putting in and out of the bag for the last couple months. This Lucky Ace MD4 was one of the first discs Jay got when we started, and I got a couple of these. I got this little Ace one, then I have the bar stamp Lucky Ace one that I've used for 2-3 years. These things are stable. I can throw them into a headwind whenever I need it to bank left. I can rely on this thing. Also, I've been throwing this for straighter mid shots, about 300 to 350. These new MD3s are money. I don't know what they put in that new Italian plastic, but I'm in love. They're awesome. Halo Mako 3. Whoever used to throw the old Makos, this is the closest thing to the old Makos that I have found. Not like typical Mako 3s where they're flat and they're a little flippy. This thing is domey and straight with a little bit of fade to it. So they won't hold the right angle. They'll come back. Thank you, Kevin Walliver, for that. So I got this disc yesterday, but I've been throwing the Mustang for a while. But the second run Eternal ones, this is the new Freddie Meza stamped one. He's got some and he's gonna get some more, so hit him up if you want the Mexican Eagle, Meza Mustang. And then for my turnover mid-range, I used to throw an Origin. My new one is Mako 3, the new Star Mako 3. These things, put it on a little bit of hyzer, flips up to flat and goes straight for over 300 feet. These things are awesome. Or if I need little turnovers that hold, I love the Mako 3s. My OG disc, the one that I started with, KC Roc. I could do one round challenge with these all day long. First 6 months of playing disc golf, I used the KC Roc and only this. All right, now on to the drivers. I'll do the fairway drivers first. I'll start with my forehand only ones. I usually just use these just for forehands. I've got the Draco and the Captain's Raptor. This little baby, I've been flirting with it, and it made a spot in my bag. I used to have a Leopard 3, but now I got the Jackalope. Jackalope is it's a very good, reliable turnover disc for me, and sometimes rollers. If I need something to break right, at least 40 to 50 feet, I can throw this on a little baby hyzer and it'll work its way over. The new C-Line FDs, like I said earlier about the plastic, this stuff is gummy, it's reliable, and it's stable. I mean, I can throw this flat, it's gonna go straight for about 350 feet, and then it's gonna fade out. And if I wanna put it on Annie, it'll hold that Annie for a while and then come out. This thing is just like my Teebird that I've had for about 2 years. I got it from Steve Dufresne at Shawshank. Star Teebirds are one of my favorite discs, as well as the KC Pro Roc. It's point and shoot. If I need a straight shot anywhere from 330 to 370, usually this or the FD is coming out of the bag. For a little more stable shots, I'm using the Barsby Eagle. This is the second run. The first run's a bit more stable. This one, it'll flip up a little bit, but always comes back. And I love the color. So along the lines of the Jackalope, if I need a little more distance on the turnover, I use the Sidewinder. It's the Christine Jennings Sidewinder from last year. I can use it for long distance rollers, hyzer flip to straight, or a flat to turn over from anywhere from 350 to 400. And then this little gem I got last weekend at Loso, and it's already made a spot in the bag. Champion Luster, or it's a Luster Savant. It's a bomber. It goes straight for days. It's very comparable to this Eagle, but about 40 feet longer. So this disc is probably one of the longest that I've had in my career. It's this Metal Flake Thunderbird. I played dogwood with this a couple years ago, and I didn't need to pull out a Destroyer or a Wraith or anything, because this thing I can throw just as far as my Destroyers, but a little more angle control, and it likes missing trees. And then its big brother is the Star Thunderbird. It's pretty overstable for a Thunderbird, so I can use this on forehands and then good backhands that I need to go right to left. And then whenever I have a little bit more wind, I'll bust out this Sublime Alpha. The Thunderbirds and the Alpha are very similar to me. I'm partial to the Thunderbird because that's where I grew up throwing. But these Alphas, especially the Space City one, is a bit more stable. I can use this on forehands as well, and then when I ever have a good headwind on a 400-foot shot, I'll bust this baby out and it'll handle the headwind. Thank you for the die, Chris Barr. This thing is awesome. And then my max distance drivers. Got these. So I didn't start using a Wraith till about 3 years ago, and I'm very upset that it took me that long to find them, because Wraiths are amazing. One of my furthest flying drivers that I've ever thrown. The bottom stamp in particular. This thing, I can throw it anywhere from 4 425 to 475 if I need to. This thing is my bomber. And it's the hyzer flip. I need to put it on a hyzer, or if I throw it flat, it turns into a roller immediately. The new 2022 Garrett Girthy Wraiths, I find they're not as stable as the last runs, so I like that a lot. I can throw this hard and flat and it'll go straight for a while and then dump out. I've also used this for good long left to right forehands because it's got that dome and it'll get that glide and that good skip that I need. These things are amazing. I've already told multiple people that these new C-Line DD3s, it has to be the plastic because this plastic is amazing and it goes for days. So this is my Star Shryke Tito stamp I got from Rachel, and I got Chris Barr to dye it. This thing is one of the most overstable Shrykes that I've ever seen, and I love it because it's got the glide of a Shryke, but it's the stability of a Destroyer. The goats, my boy Freddie, one of his stamps. These things are awesome. They're such a reliable disc. They're like a better X-Cal in my opinion. You can forehand them, you can backhand them. You love them for headwinds, long bombs that you need to go right to left on for backhands. Pick you up a goat if you have not. And another disc that I've been using for a while is the Quasar. And this 1.4 seems to be the most stable run that I've come across. And these are my headwind. This is my headwind disc. This is my beefy one that I need. I can count on it. I can throw it on any in the headwind and it comes out. So everybody calls this my broken Destroyer because this is a Calvin that is not overstable. This thing is just like a beat-in Wraith for me. I can throw it on hyzer and it'll flip up and turn over. This is one of my longest flying discs because of that. And I gotta be careful when I use this. I can't use this in any wind or it'll mess up on me. But when there's no wind, I can get this almost 475 to 5. And then my beefcake of all beefcakes is my bottom stamp Top Hat Boss. I got this a few years ago and it was like throwing a tilt for a little bit, but I got it broken in to where I can use this a little bit more reliable than my Quasar, but that goes a little further. So I only bust this out when I absolutely need to, or I need to get that big right to left or left to right skip on a forehand, or I can use it on a right to left skip on backhands because of the rim. So yeah, I know I fluctuate my bag a lot. This bag has been my mainly my bag for the last 3 months, and my game's got a lot better since I've stuck with it. I'd like to thank Jay and Jason and Lucky Ace. Thank y'all for listening and watching. Hopefully I can do another in the bag on tour if I get good enough. Peace.